Welcome back to Gooners Federation. We are going through our new testing sesh. This is a pretty lengthy testing sesh, so I had to speed up the video just a little bit to keep it within, reasonable parameters. So you might just need to turn the speed down a little bit on the gameplay if you think we're going a little too quick. We're starting off playing red-white. I've been testing it for a couple of weeks and really enjoying it. My buddy here is playing blue-green 1 Year War. He went, I believe it was 4-0 at locals this last week, and he really wanted to showcase it. I put the deck profile on the channel just right before this one, so feel free to check it out if you'd like. But yeah, we're just checking this out now. I went for the 4-2 token in this matchup, just so I can help fight stuff. I haven't played against blue-green very much, so I haven't had a whole lot of practice with it. I know good rule of thumb is when you're playing this to ping deck, you typically only put the 2-4 into play, but you also don't get to kill a lot of things with it. So I wanted to make sure that my token was able to fight and trade with stuff properly, but that didn't work out this time. We finally were able to put down Shinanju, and we are going to start taking care of stuff. The only reason I did this pilot here was because, well, first of all, it makes it big enough to where it'll survive, well, not survive, but it can't get Amaroed. But also, like, Hammond is really a good card. We definitely have changed a couple of things in our list after this video has been posted. We're actually testing red-purple right now. That deck's really cool. I might profile it next if it turns out players want to see it. But yeah, that game didn't last very long. I didn't hardly get to do anything. Blue-green aggro, just if it draws insane, you just can't beat it. It's so fast. And you just go through like 4 turns, you've drawn like potentially 8 units and an Amaro, like that hand's busted. I believe we switched to blue-white Epion. Oh, yeah, he switched to... What did he switch to? Oh, we switched decks, that's right. He's trying my deck out since he's never played it, and I've never actually played blue-green aggro, so I'm just trying it this game. I'll tell you now, my game with this deck was really subpar. I didn't get to see a whole lot of anything beyond the first few turns. I still believe I ended up winning, but it was one of those things where I just saw enough dudes. And that's just the thing with that deck, is you just see enough dudes sometimes. The only thing I truly dislike about red-white in this case, though, is that red-white has no way of going plus in card advantage, pretty much. So, like, every card you play needs to be able to get at least 1 card out of itself, potentially 2, so that way you're whittling your opponent's resources down. Unfortunately, when you start reaching into the matchups where they actually get some free cards, like against blue-white Epion or just really any blue variant, as they have the only cards in the game that go positive, yeah, it's really rough. And that's why you have to make sure that you're getting the most out of every single card you commit to the board. The play I just made there was just to make sure my guy survived. in case he was able to ping it. And that's the game. Now I believe we're switching to the Epion mirror match. This is where I definitely like to feel like I shine. I love a super grindy matchup, and when both boards end up pushing each other, like you're playing more or less tug of war, and whoever slips first is where the domino effect kicks in, and then everything just falls apart for that player. Thankfully, in a grindy matchup like this, you have the ability to like come back super well, but we got our really easy turns. We got the Grandpa and Amuro combo coming down to swing boards in our favor. Early blockers. The norm. Unforeseen incident coming pretty freaking clutch, I'm not going to lie. I actually end up losing a good few trades tonight due to that card. Freedom number 1 is here. And then we just used a Zex there to get some bounce and stuff. I forget why I decided to pair Freedom second, because I didn't get the attack power minus right away. I think it still ended up the same way, but more dudes. And I forgot he was on Perfect Strike in this list. I think he based his original list off of playing something else, and he just liked the 3 resource curve. Tolgy's getting in there. Now he's got double freedom. This is a mess. I remember this game. It was this game was really hard for me. This was a really hard turn for me to navigate, so I'm glad we fast-forwarded through all my hand shuffling. But yeah, he's got the double freedom and the Archangel. Like, he's very well set up right now. We were really hoping that we would be able to take a freedom down with the Epion, but he definitely did not take the bait this time. Yeah, this is where I finally ended up drawing back some cards, because I did not get to see a whole lot of excess card draw this game. Dudes. More dudes. Now, I don't know if you understand here, but I'm making it to where I'm not attacking into his shields because I don't want to accidentally give him cards when I'm trying to maintain the board. You'll notice I tend to make this decision a lot because I have had a lot of situations where I have just pinged my opponent for one shield, and that one shield put them right back into the game where I could have just waited a turn. So, yeah, you might want to keep that in mind, especially when you are like in a super fragile board state. You really can't afford to give up the board and or your potential like victory by just poking at a shield randomly. Have the patience to hold back. It really helps a lot. And that was the game. I think we're talking about something here. Oh yeah, I got his old show of Resolve because I actually really liked that card's art, and he had picked one up. Yeah, it was cool. And then I think we're about to have another game with the mirror match. Oh, I know. I believe this is blue-white Epion from me against the Rush deck from him. Yeah, he's playing One Year War. Dudes. I feel like I might have been able to sequence that a little bit differently. Um, I don't know. I feel like I could have used the L Strike maybe to bounce this token instead. Um, yeah. He forgot he put his Grandpa Gundams in another deck. I think he put them into his Epion deck uh, during our prior game and forgot to take them back out. So if you end up seeing blank cards here, it's just Grandpa Gundam. God, I hate this deck. I remember the end of this game. I was so close to actually maintaining this game. Actually, no, this might have been the one I won with this. I don't remember. Oh, I think this is the one I actually won against 1 Year War, where I basically tried to keep him off resources as long as possible by not just, willy-nilly swinging into shields with everything. I didn't want to take the chance that, like, we hit a base, that he drew a card, and then he could hit a pilot, because I was still only, like, one attack away from Char just ending my life. So we had to be careful with, just not just willy-nilly swinging into his shields to give him a resource. Like, if we hit the 6 HP base, we can't clear it. And then if we hit Char, he gets the Char, and then if he's got any of Char's units, we just lose. So, like, we just got to be careful when we do that kind of stuff. We want to get them out of resources first. When you have a board is, like, established as, like, double freedom, Epion, and then small blockers, you typically don't lose that exchange if they're down in cards. You will usually keep up the whole game. So there's no usual foul in, being patient for a few turns just to make sure that you keep them down on cards, since they still have to play at your tempo. This game is probably already set and done. I'm pretty cooked already. I think this is like turn 6. Yeah, we got the Rick Diaz Freedom play here, which is good, but Char is just really unfair sometimes. I believe this is a situation where I have to be able to out the Zaku, and then he just gets another one, and then he draws the last piece he needs and just wins. So, it's whatever. I do really hope that eventually some point something in the 1 Year War deck gets hit, because sometimes it just feels way too strong when it just draws into, like, multiple Chars. And Char keeps getting supported, so, like, I feel like Char needs to get either reworked or something. But we're going into another match here. I believe this is me testing the new deck? Let's see. He's on, I'm believing, he's on Blue-White Epion again. Yeah, we're playing, I think this is Purple-Red. And I'm just, like, pinging away at his board and setting up big plays with other stuff now. Yeah, we are playing it. Okay. This is a pretty good demonstration of seeing how powerful this kind of an archetype can be. I remember having a game here at some point where I was able to maintain a Barbatos on the board for like 3 or 4 turns and just kept gaining cards back. The purple engine is really malleable. I look forward to seeing what more purple has to offer going forward. We've seen some of the cards for set 3 revealed already. I love Gundam X Divider, and I love Exia for the Exia starter deck. I'm a pretty good fan of 00, so, like, I'm really excited to see what all that stuff brings. X Divider is a step in the direction we've really wanted from a graveyard-based deck, so yeah, I can't wait for that. As for this game, I really like the synergy between Kshatriya and the and Mikazuki and Gusion. They add a lot of synergy between pings. It keeps you able to keep your Barbados, like, locked up and ready for the draw effect, the big one to come in, swing down for 2 damage. The only thing that really sucks about this game is so trade heavy that sometimes you don't really even get to take like full advantage of your cards that have suppression. That's why I feel like cards that have breach right now are just way more impactful. Like, if like Barbados here had breach, This would have been a lot more impactful because I could use it to take out his Grandpa Gundam. And then on the following turn, the only weakness I'm so far noticing is, like, your late game, while it's decent, it's not as strong as decks like Freedom Epion that can just slam really big bodies over and over, and then still have access to cards like Grandpa Amuro. But we were able to board the Quibley and the Gusion here next to each other so we can defend our Barbados. Now he's trying to draw into some answers. And we have maintained the board for a turn. I don't remember. I think I might have won this game, but we've already put ourselves in a really good position right here. We use close combat to feign the block. We could have used it first, but I wanted to see if he was going to even bother with it, see if we can hold the close combat. Yeah, this is the game where my Barbados stayed in play for super long. Because he really didn't want to, he didn't want to commit it, because once he does, one of my bigger units is just going to take it out, and that was the trade he was not ready to make, since they were, the only thing keeping him in this game. This was a really awkward turn. I had to basically use Mikazuki to ping something that I wanted to further ping with Quibley. But I believe my math was off here, and that's what this whole little debacle looks like it's talking about. And the freedoms are gone, and I win. But yeah, I hope that showcased a good amount of what this deck is capable of. It's definitely not something to dismiss. I mean, we already know how good Blurple is as a deck, and then we already know how good the Xeon White deck is. It's creeping up in popularity. So thinking of the best of both worlds, kinda. If I remember correctly, this is the final game of the testing sesh. And I think it's the same matchup we just did. Purple, I believe is how I called this deck on our testing sesh, and then I think he's still on blue-white. I really like the little Kshatriya in this deck. It adds a lot of... It adds an early game where we don't really have one, but it's also just a really tanky body. It survives Wing 0. It links with all of our Cyber New Type pilots, and we're on 7. So that's really good synergy. It makes a really good interaction with Hammond, just so you get that ping immediately, since you're probably not going to want to swing with this thing super early anyways, since the only thing it can truly take out right away is an EX base. Man, unforeseen incident got in there again. And the thing is, you can't really, predict that card very much. It's sure you can, assume they might have it every time you swing into something while they have one resource up, but that happens a lot. And it's just one of those things. Not everyone's even on it. So, it's almost one of those things that you kind of have to hope they just don't have every time. I'm really hoping Red gets one more really strong pinging command. I was really hoping that all-out attacks was better than it is currently. I would have liked it so much better if it was like a level 4, 3 drop, and then just put 2 on everything, regardless if it's linked or not. Like, everything's linked right now almost, like, if you think about it. So all it's really going to do is just take out a bunch of weak units if they have any left in play. And even right now, it only puts 1 on everything. It doesn't take out anything competitively viable. So, like, you have to combo it with something. So with it being a 2 drop, 4 level, all at the same time with all of that, it's just a really subpar card. I really dislike that it's the way it is. That card had a lot of potential to help take care of rush decks. But now we're basically playing a game of chicken. And whoever cracks first loses, basically. But he has a much more oppressive card in play, being the Freedom. All my stuff is smaller than it. I think with the exception of Queeble. And there's the Grandpa Gundam to start cracking my board. It sucks to have to put a damage on something. And, by the way, ignore that. I accidentally thought my Kshatriya was my Barbados 1. That was the whole point of that play. Oh, I think I remember this. I just haven't been seeing the pilots. One of the unfortunate things about playing this combination is, like, and even in red-white, your deck really bricks when it bricks. This deck is... it's reliant on seeing the right cards at the right times, and sometimes you just see a fistful of cards you don't need to see. Now we're taking away his board with the combo between Kshatriya, Merida, Quibble, and Hammond. So yeah. I actually had to like push here to take his board back. Unfortunately, I knew Epion was coming, and that's unfortunate for me because he just basically got 3 cards out of it. That's Fatal Strike, by the way. None of us had our Fatal Strikes on us. Back to the empty board state, but I'm so much more behind in cards here. Yep, he had the second Epion, and now I've basically lost this game. It was so close, too. Was able to get rid of Epion there with a combination of Battle of Aces and Gusion, but, like, catching back up in this deck is so much harder. And now he's got a bunch of card draw here. He got all of his remaining overflowing affections in one turn here. And now he's got the L Strike and the bounce. This is, I think, our last-ditch effort to try and take the board back. But we had to give up our Barbados there and then put a Quibble down and hope this is enough. But nope, he's got Grandpa Amuro again, and then there's our last shield. It's Fatal Strike, so we couldn't hit anything, unfortunately. And now the Quibble is just going to kill one thing, and now he wins. Yeah. Alright, guys, have a good day.